Am I out of my senses? For a second, I forgot it's not me losing my mind, but Conrad. For surely, you must know. You must know. This is diabolical. Welcome back to The Rosy Romantic. I'm Bree, and today we're going to talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty, Season 3, Episode 5. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Also, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's chat. Just so you know, there will be spoilers throughout this video. So let's jump right in. This is why you should have went to California, Conrad. This is why. I don't understand. I'm like, Agnes, you know what? You don't have to help this man. You don't have to. And I'm so sorry, Agnes. I am so sorry that you had to put up with this man. Okay? Because he is still caught up on Belly. It's been 4 years. You got to let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta move on.
What are you, Lamaze breathing? It helps.
I blame Conrad, and I blame Belly. I blame, you know how I blame, everybody in this whole situation. Because she has not been able to be alone. Either she was with Conrad, and she was Jeremiah, and then, and then when she was about to get back with Conrad, and Conrad's like, I'm not sure what, my whole emotional distress and everything I'm going through. And then she went right back to Jeremiah.
Pull yourself together! What will you do? Is this a question?
Conrad, I'm gonna tell you right now, you need better. You need better. Belly, you need to do better for yourself. You're saying about all these things, I want to explore the world. Then go do that. Go do that. Because clearly, Susanna wanted her two boys to be okay. And that they had each other. They had each other's backs. But you know what, Belly, you doing? Okay? You're messing that up. Okay, Conrad, it's not your fault. Now, it's your fault for, pursuing your brother's fiance. That's wrong. But my thing is, Belly, you know this. And then we're going to talk about this a little later on. But okay, so we had that moment where, we flashback from, the last episode, episode 4, okay, and I wrote the note, this man needs help. Yeah, we need a therapist to come back. Can you do Zoom calls, Mr. Therapist? Can that happen? Conrad needs help. But now we're, in the start of this new episode, and we see Conrad fixing parts of the roof with no shirt. This to me is screaming desperate.
I did not say that.
Oh, you did.
I did not.
You did?
It is not.
And Conrad, you don't need to be pick yourself off the floor. Pick yourself off the floor. I don't understand. You're on the top of the roof. You're at the top of the house. But bro, you at the bottom of the floor. This girl is engaged. This woman is engaged, and you were trying to, fix the roof and stuff. You're like, oh, I'm trying to help the house. I'm trying to, help everything, for the wedding. And I'm trying to, be that person.
Are you for real right now?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, put on some SPF. Put on some SPF. I need you to put on a SPF 50 broad spectrum. Put it on. Because that sun is beating down. I just don't. What are you trying to impress Belly? Okay? And it cracked me up because he, I think he had one of those tools, hammer things. When he saw Belly, because he was so stunned by her beauty, he almost took her out because the hammer fell off the roof.
You in danger, girl.
Okay, Conrad. But then he says something wild. He says, I just have to stay away from her until the wedding. And then she'll be my brother's wife. And I won't think of her that way again. Okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I need everyone to come to the front. Yeah, I need everyone to come to the front who has seen Bridgerton Season 2. Come to the front. If you haven't seen it, I want you to just, we can, skip here and I'll put a little spoiler up. Tell me why this wouldn't work. Tell me why. Because if you have such that intense feelings, okay, remember Anthony? Remember Anthony and Kate? He was about to marry Edwina. And then he was clearly saying that no matter where in the world she could move, Kate could move, that he you know, a place would not be far enough for him, you know, not to, you know, to love her. So make it make sense, make it make sense. So Conrad, when you see her, you know, yeah, at the wedding, you're still gonna feel that way. And if you do not move on, if the possibility, if they wanna have kids, Jeremiah and Belly, you're gonna be there at the baby shower, possibly, with the same feel. I need to breathe. I need to walk for a few seconds. I'll be back. I need to walk. I need to walk.
Pardon me, ladies, gentlemen.
Why haven't you moved on, Conrad? Like, that's a signal to me that something else is going on. Like, I know all the things that have happened, but at least moving on with just one person. And Agnes, you know, was so nice, you know, putting you first and all these things. And I understand maybe y'all should just be friends. That's okay. That's okay. But absolutely no one, and you're stuck on that person for 4 years, and your brother has been with, you know, that girl, your ex, for 4 years, and you haven't done anything about it, but yearn for her, pine over her. No, 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 that is not okay. That is not okay, Conrad, and that is not romantic. I need you, okay, to be healthy emotionally, okay? And if you're putting Betty, well, you could meet Betty if you know, wanted to. I don't know who Betty is, but you know, you could meet a Betty, but you don't want to, Conrad, apparently. If you put Belly as this like idealistic woman, you're like, oh, she's gonna be so great and we're gonna have this great relationship. Not a relationship's gonna be perfect. And then you're gonna put all that on her and all that on this relationship, and then it's not going to work out at all. Okay. All right, I'm calming down, I'm calming down, I'm calming down. I'm not gonna get upset, I'm not gonna get upset. Moving on, we have Taylor going to see Jeremiah so she can pick him up from work and they can drive to, you know, cousins together. But then Jeremiah's like, look, I might take the train in because I need to just follow up some extra work with, you know, with my dad, and because I really wanted to be on good terms with him and I want him, you know, proud of me. Like, he's really searching for that from his father, like, and this is sad because he hasn't had it for like years. Has he ever had it? I don't know. Was there like a good time where Adam was good to his children? We don't know. And then we see Taylor again with her redemption arc because then Steven finds out that she gave up going to New York so she can help her mom. Okay, so Taylor, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. I need you to do a little better, okay? But I see your progress, okay? And you report it back. All right, all right. You're seeing some progress. There may be hope for you yet. She updates Belly later that she is not going to be able to make it to, you know, the wedding planning stuff because she has to help her mom with a salon inspection. So, like, good on Taylor. Like, she's like, look, I gotta put my family first. And girl, I know you have a wedding coming up in August, but I got some things to do. Okay, respect Taylor. Again, we still need you to do better. In the meantime, we see that Jeremiah and Steven and Denise, yeah, they're all back at, you know, the internship, and then Jeremiah starts to pick up on the fact that Steven may like Denise. And I'm seeing that too. When I saw them on the train, I was like, wait a minute. I see something. I see something between those two, and I think they're good together. Just like I think Conrad and Agnes would be good together, I think that Steven and Denise would be good together.
She's got a point.
So then we go back to cousins and we see that Belly wants to go, you know, wedding plan shopping, but no one is there to help her. So she's like, okay, fine, let me go take the car and I'll, you know, run the wedding planning errands. But then Conrad's like, oh, I need to go to the store as well. So she's like, you who's gonna get the car. And at first Conrad's like, you know what, you can, wait till I get back and then you can have the car. Which was good for you, Conrad. You were standing your ground. I was proud of you. But then you folded. Then I'm like, just because that Belly, she's like, oh, well, why can't I ride with you? Girl, you already know. You already do know this, but you're just throwing it in his face like, oh, you're just supposed to be my brother-in-law and everything's fine. Girl, you were so close with this man and all the things and the Christmas with Conrad thing, and you don't think it's a problem, you don't think it's an issue, and you didn't tell your man Jeremiah about Christmas with Conrad.
Oh, well, that is impertinent.
So guess who's up with the problem? Okay, because it's not just Conrad, it's also you, Billy. And then she stomps off, okay, and she goes like, fine, I'll get my bike. I'm like, go ahead, girl, go bike. It's good for the environment. Go ahead. And it's good for your health overall. So look, go bike around cousins.
I've been waiting to say this all year, and I'm gonna say it. And this is a good time. Get the stepping.
Meanwhile, Jeremiah is working on a financial report about this company and whether it would help, support their company. And he's not so sure about, all the numbers and stuff. But when he's going over it, he's like, I don't think this is adding up. And this might be, a bad acquisition. I don't know all the business terms and things, y'all. I'm just guessing based off of, what I'm here for Succession. I could be wrong. And Jeremiah's not sure if he ran the reports right, but I'm pretty sure he did because I'm like, Jeremiah, trust yourself. You're a smart man. You can do this. But because, the history in the past of his father, not believing in him, he's second guessing himself. But that's neither here nor there because you know what? I'm done with Adam. I don't care about the 180 he makes later on. I don't care. Then we're back in Cousins and we see Belly struggling with her, little bags and stuff. Conrad sees this and is like, you know what? I'm gonna help. All right, I did like that. I did like how Conrad was helpful because I couldn't be. I'd be like, you know what, girl, it's called Uber. It's called Uber. You could Uber around. Oh yeah, the price are, skyrocketing. But I told you you could be in wedding planning in Philly. But you don't want to do that because you don't want to confront Laurel. And Laurel doesn't want to confront you. You probably should, talk about that.
And you know that's right.
So Conrad is helpful and he goes around to help her wedding plan shop. But it's so weird because he keeps looking at her with like this dream-like state. He's like, oh, if I can only marry her. Like, if it was only me. He was basically singing, that could be me, holding your hand. That could be me, making you laugh.
Can you maybe just admit that some part of you doesn't want everything in your life to be a fantasy?
And this is where the show makes me mad, is because they try to make Conrad out to be a reasonable, financially responsible guy and that takes care of Belly. And while Jeremiah, is seeming to be, not caring about her feelings and that he wants this cake that is expensive and he's like, charged the card and everything. But I'm like, but this is just one instance. He's been there for her for 4 years. Okay, the man wants a cake, he's calling up about that, and he wants the mirror glaze, and I'm like, bro, you can learn how to do a mirror glaze, just watch the Great British Baking Show. And was he being a brat about that? Yes. Okay, I'll be like, okay, Jeremiah, that cake is expensive, okay? And if you want to pay for it, sure. But now, again, with the whole debt thing we're in and we're gonna get married and we're gonna think about finances. Are we filing jointly? Are we gonna have a joint account? Like, I'll be bringing all these things to him, and if he was upset, he's upset, but I know he would see later on that was reasonable, okay? Because we would talk it out together as a couple, okay? We're not gonna be on the same page all the time. And excuse me, but Belly, if you were actually financially responsible, you would be online looking for reasonable prices and things.
Yup.
She decides to go to Michael's with Conrad, and then Conrad again is in this dreamlike state, and I'm like, bro, you need to wake up. You need to wake up right now because this is not real life. This is not your reality. And he says that. He's like, I don't know, where I'm living. And I'm like, Yeah, you're into Lulu. You're into Lulu and you need to move on. This is not healthy. What does he say? For a second, I forgot, it's not me who's marrying her.
He's not the one she's marrying, is he?
How long have you had a conversation with Belly over, like, that y'all had like real conversations? It's like that Christmas and Conrad thing. It was like, you know, this utopia. Like, y'all don't live in the real everyday life. Like, every time we see them is a dreamlike state, or like, whatever. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I really am.
It's insanity personified.
Then we go back to see Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was correct about the discrepancy they saw with the company. And then all of a sudden, Adam's happy. You know, he's not happy for his son. He's happy that he saved him money at the company and saved him embarrassment. Because if he acquired that company and his company lost money, he would be in big trouble. Like, I don't know what else. Like, I just can't believe the accounting team, they didn't catch that? That an intern caught it? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is the only reason that Adam is like, you know what? I'm for the wedding now. Like, I'm happy for you guys, and let me fund the wedding. You know what I'd rather you fund, Adam? Yeah, my $20,000 for my education.
And you know that's right.
It has been several hours later, but we're gonna continue to talk about the Samurai Turned Pretty with Belly and Conrad. Don't you worry, because I have a lot of words to say, all right? And I also brought snacks, okay? And tea. So here we go. Belly and Conrad coming back from Michael's. I thought this was gonna be okay. I knew the peach scene was coming up. But here we have the car ride. And Belly's talking about how she wants to see the world, and, you know, her dream, or I guess not really dream. Well, I hope it's a dream for her because she needs dreams. She wants to be a sports psychologist. She wants to go to graduate school. I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you, girl. But you know what? I need you to also have a degree in that psychology of not tearing two brothers apart. Yeah, I said what I said. Because I'm like, what's not clicking? What's not clicking up here? And Conrad finally admits that he has been seeing a therapist. And she's like, oh, wow, growth. And I'm like, in reality, Belly, you really do not know Conrad. You used to know Conrad. You knew Conrad back in the day. You don't know him now, okay? So you don't get, no. You have to stop, because you chose Jeremiah. You want to spend your life with him, but you can't be like, oh, Conrad's making improvements, Conrad, whatever. And Conrad, you need to sit down as well. Like, no, okay? So at first, when I saw them going to the peach stand, I was like, you know what? I saw in the book. I was prepared. I was ready. I knew that she was gonna have peaches, and I guess they have a really good honor system at that peach stand. But here she is eating the peaches, and then all of a sudden the peach juice is on, you know, her chin, and then Conrad pulls out his shirt, and then he wipes it off. He wipes it off for her. Okay. Now, is this romantic? For me, it's not, okay? Because for me, what's romantic is getting Bumblebee tights, okay? Me before you. Now that's adorable. This one was like, it was okay. But to each their own, okay? And I was dealing with it. I was like, okay, maybe they come like really close and they're about to kiss. Like, I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. I'm strong. I can get through this. And then we have Belly and Conrad cooking dinner together. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm still okay. I'm like, you know what? I can deal with this. I can cope with this.
What? It's a recipe for disaster.
But they're having dinner and they're having wine. And during that wine, you know, reminiscing, they're talking about their past and everything. I'm like, okay. I'm still doing okay. Until they get to one particular topic. They're talking about those like flake flowers they saw at Michael's. And she's like, oh, I can't believe, Conrad, that you picked up those and you thought they looked good. First of all, that's rude. Okay, because Belly, that's all you can afford, honey. Because you know why? You didn't consider to go to the Trader Joe's. And you know what? That's your fault. That's your fault, Belly. We're not trying to figure out that. Anyway, she's talking about the flowers.
What? What is, you do this thing, you had this whole like judgy face scenario going on.
I'm just already upset about it. I'm just upset. And then she has the nerve to say, oh, yeah, we had those at my mom's house, and you know how they are in, you know, in the room in the house. Okay. I did not prepare myself for this because I didn't know. I didn't know. But they're talking about some stupid flowers. And then we have an instant flashback of where those flowers are. Okay? They were in Laurel's house. This is 4 years ago. This is the night before prom, I believe. And then, I don't know why Conrad, I think he's at Laurel's house because what's going on with Susanna, it's a lot for him. Okay, Laurel's kind opens up her wonderful home to him. Then we have Belly. Belly decides it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea that we have under Laurel's roof to go to Conrad's room. Okay? The thing, what does the nun probably think the parent does not want to happen when the boyfriend and girlfriend are at the house? Okay? It's one simple rule. It's one simple rule. Look, they feed you, they clothe you, they take you to school, they pay for your schooling. You could just follow one simple rule. But no, okay? They're young, they're in love, whatever. So, and clearly, Conrad is grieving. He's going through an emotional roller coaster. But here comes Belly, and he's like, oh, Belly thinks everybody gets better, and the whole world is like, you know, just one big apple pie. And I'm like, Conrad, you're treating her like she's stupid. And you're like, oh, it's, you know, it's so sweet that she still thinks that way. And I want her to think, you know, that way forever. That's not healthy. That is not healthy at all. And I'm like, and I understand when he was young, but even still, I'm like, bro, no. But then, they get together. It's not a fade to black, I'll tell you that. I was so upset. I was like, because I know what you're about to do. You're about to show this scene and then flash back. Here's Conrad looking at Belly, and you know what? They're thinking the same thing. You're not slick. You're not slick writers. I know that Conrad's thinking that. But Belly's thinking about that too. She's like, oh, remember that night? I remember it well. I know that's what she's thinking. She didn't say it, but I know she's thinking it.
Yes, he attempts to relive the past.
If Jeremiah didn't show up, what would have happened? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. But guess what? Jeremiah comes back and says, honey, I'm home. This is basically a slap in the face. So when Jeremiah comes back, Belly runs into his arms. But a couple of days ago, okay, in the same kitchen, maybe a few feet to the left or the right, I'm not sure, she ran into Conrad's arms. Anyway, Conrad's done because he's like, oh, I forgot Jeremiah's here. I'm like, yeah. Okay, and you're annoyed, but you know what? There's a reason you should be annoyed, because that's your brother's fiance. So he goes upstairs and he's all like, sad boy Conrad. I'm like, oh, whatever. And then Jeremiah is with Belly and they went up to see the fireworks because it's the 4th of July. And he tells her that Adam is willing to pay for the wedding, but it has to be at the club. And at first, Belly is against it. She's like, oh, but we saved up all this money. Like, it's supposed to be our wedding. And then she also hears that they have to invite, people from the company. And she's like, oh, but it's our wedding. It's ours. I don't want to share it. Belly, you're being a child. If someone is paying for your wedding, and I just had a couple of his coworkers there, I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, but if you're helping pay for the flowers, or you're helping pay for the cake, then yeah, I don't care. As if you're not at my bridal party, like they don't have to take pictures with you. They're just attending the wedding. They're wedding guests. Okay? They're not in the wedding family. They're not in the bridal party. They're not the groomsmen. Okay? Belly. Okay, I'm collecting. Then finally that Belly agrees, and it also says that this opens her up to being able to continue to study for, to pursue her GRE and want to go to graduate school. So that I'm like, yeah, Jeremiah's making some very valid points. Even though it's not the thing that you dreamed of, but the thing is, like, the wedding is for everyone else, okay? But the marriage is y'all, okay? And Belly, I don't think you should go with, this wedding should not happen. Because clearly, y'all, Jeremiah is all in. Belly's not. And I'm not having it.
This whole thing is off. The relationship is off. Now get the stepping.
So let me know what you thought about this episode, and I hope you have a comfy and cozy rest of your day. Bye!